Before even time began, my life was in His hand.
My fondest memory of my mom has to do more with the last conversation that we had, and that would have been January 16th, the day before her heart attack. And I was very frustrated with some other things that were going on. And her last words were to me, Maya, have no expectations. Whatever you do, have no expectations. Do what you do because you think it's correct. And whatever happens from there, let that be the blessing.
Our grandma had gone to the flowers, with all the flowers, and she's in heaven.
Right. My fondest memory of my mother was my high school graduation gift. She wrote this poem and put it in a frame for me. And I still have that poem to this day. I read it sometime and get teary-eyed because of the things it said. It's true to life. So
my fondest memory of my mom is definitely the Wednesday night before she passed. We had a good time of conversation after our Wednesday night service. We were outside of church, and normally my family and I will kind of just leave because we got to get the boys to bed. But that night we just hung around, and my mom and dad and I, we were actually the last ones there that night, and we were talking about the fun that we had together at one of my daughter's basketball games. And my mom and I were talking about memories of my grandmother, and our conversation that night was just really, really sweet. And I just thank the Lord for the time that we had. Only He knew what was to come, but I thank Him for that time.
Glory. And my favorite memory, I think my favorite memory was on one of the cruises we took. She had surprised me and had brought some fruit into the cabin where we were, and just was such fun. That's one of my favorite ones. And perhaps the best one was the last day that she was here on earth. We did our devotion that morning. We was in Psalm, and the Lord just graced her to be here so happy. One of her happiest days ever. Her best friend came in from St. Louis, Claudette, and that was the same evening that the Lord would choose to call her to glory. And it's etched in my mind the night that she passed. But for 38 years, she just was a joy, and I'm grateful. I know she's with the Lord. I have a great peace on that, and I know she would want me to just go on serving and be faithful, and that's what I'm trying to do.
One of my memories that I remember of Grandma is when she gave me my Spanish book for my birthday, and I like it because it teaches me Spanish. And then there's one song that she didn't teach me, but Granddad taught me, and it reminds me of Grandma. Every time I hear it on the radio call, all I know is not where I belong.
He knows my name. He knows my every thought. And He sees each tear that falls, and hears me when I call. Let's all sing. I have a Father. I have a Father. He calls me His own.